David, your takeaway amid the confusion?
Well, Caroline, I think you guys just opened the show with a summary of exactly where market sentiment happens to be. We essentially have squashed chaos. People can now say it's going to be more predictable. We're not going to see the dramatic blue wave, as Romaine just said. We're going to have some calm. There's been a thirsting for some calm strategic view. You're also right that we are still in a contested election and it could still become ugly. We don't know that yet.
So, David, right now the sentiment is relatively bullish here. I mean, you are seeing investors sort of gravitate to some of the safer names in this market. There's some concern here, too, though, that some of the other policy proposals that maybe the market was looking for, like infrastructure spending and some of the sort of, I guess, broader sort of industrial sort of policies that would lift some of those industrial stocks, that may not materialize based on the outcome of this election. Does that concern you at all, that we're still sort of married to this big tech trade at this moment?
Romaine, it does. And it's a very valid concern. When you don't know the composition of the Senate, you do know the House is going to be narrow, and it looks like Biden can win, but we don't know for sure. But whatever the composition is going to be, we do not even have a clue about how the advancement or progression of legislation and enabling appropriations can occur. And therein lies a big issue. The second issue today in this market is when you look at the FANG stocks or the large cap growth mega stocks, and you see them driving this performance, one could say, as some people have said, it's a lifting of the risk of antitrust actions against them. But when you compare them, say, with the S&P 600 small cap versus the S&P 500 large cap, the difference today is almost 300 basis points in movement. So that tells you this is still a bifurcated, very concentrated rally.
David, the bond market seemed to paint a more pessimistic picture. What is the bond market telling you right now?
Well, the bond market is saying the big deficit financing we were worried about won't be as big, and the outlook for growth is maybe tempered here. And so if the Biden program with a full-blown blue wave was priced in at 3 to 4 trillion, lots of fiscal stimulus, clearly the market is saying that's not going to happen. So the pressures on finance are not as intense. I think you said it, Taylor, that Powell is still around. And that's another thing I think folks have to reckon with. Powell is around for at least another year, no matter who the president is.